your fire, baby, let me dance in your love. I wanna feel your fire burn, rising from the flames. Baptize on me to burn again. Let me dance in the rhythm of your flame. If I burn, let me die to burn again. If I burn, let me die to burn again. Oh.
Hi, welcome to Get Lit. I'm Rebecca Hahn, and this is Blue Star Dear Woman, and we are here to help you and help ourselves break down the big picture, the big things that are happening in the world, into digestible bites. So today, we are loading the table, our buffet, where we can take bite-sized pieces of...
All right, the theme that we seem to be chewing on today is that of synthesis. And that it has occurred to many of us as we look around all the things that are happening in the world, and we're looking for that place where we can bring it all together.
People keep waiting for things to go back to normal. And what people aren't realizing is that it doesn't exist anymore. We are in an evolutionary shift where, as you said, everybody's waking up and becoming more aware. And so people aren't having children, they're not getting married, they're not taking new jobs, they're not building homes, because they're waiting for things to get back to normal before they invest in these things. Normal's not going to happen again. We're on an evolutionary spike. And as we spoke to when you were working with Wildflower Order in San Francisco in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Or early 80s.
Oh, yes. Okay, this was a profound impact for me. Wallflower Order Dance Collective, my gosh, they must be, now they're Dance Brigade, but they must be going on 40 years as a very professional technical dance troupe, but a very radical one as well, a very political one. And one of the things that I was presented with early on when we were starting to co-create together, create choreography or production, is the instructor asked us, said, you have to really look at this and understand this. When you have a vision for a creative project, and then you bring it to the collective, you bring it to the group, you've got to
get on the floor with everybody to move it,
to make it come into fruition.
Choreograph through improvisation.
You have to be clear. Are you attached to your vision? Because if you are, then you need to step up and say, I am directing this production. I am the one who makes the final call on it. All right? That's a very different kind of production. Or are you bringing your idea to the collective, recognizing and understanding that once it's in the collective, it's going to morph and become something entirely different. You're not going to be able to identify yourself in it. You're just going to know you made a contribution and an impulse, the greater result of that.
Bob Proctor, one of the people that was part of The Secret, said, the world is speeding up. So we have to learn to move more quickly at a slower pace.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Lit. I am Rebecca Hahn, and my beautiful co-star, Blue Star, Dear Woman, is with me today as well. And I'm going to pass the show off to her at the moment so she can talk us through what we're going to be focusing on today. So welcome, everybody.
The show today we titled Weaving the Threads of the Past 3 to 4 shows. And the last 4 shows, going backwards, we did Psychoevolution 2, and then we did Psychoevolutionary 1. And then we did Lost in Translation, and before that was the Inner ET Disclosure. And the reason I was prompted to just kind of reflect on these 4 shows is I felt things are going so quickly, and we covered so many multi-dimensions. Oh, it looks like we have a phone
Yeah,
coming in. Cool.
we do.
Who do we
Hello?
got?
Is it?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, who do we have
It's
on the line?
it's me. It's me, Suze. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Hi.
cool.
Hi. I just wanted to call in and say how much I do really love you girls' show. I do watch as often as I can. So, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
We appreciate you too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I like
Thank you.
I like what Steiner has brought into the world. So always, yeah, bring us those communication, and
Well,
so grateful for you.
oh, bless your heart. You know, Steiner said back in the day before he passed, and you know, the year before he passed, he took his best, closest friends, and he put them in the heads of the different cabinets, like, say, the Waldorf School, or biodynamic farming, or anthroposophical medicine, whatever it was. And in that year, they all passed together, but he had given a lecture, and he said, don't be sad that we didn't accomplish our mission this time, because, of course, you know, this was in the 30s. And he said that we would all come back together again before the turn of the century and take care of business and take care of this work.
Of late, I've been reminding people, look, we're infinite, we're eternal. If we don't accomplish what we're thinking in this lifetime, we're coming back. We're not going to,
Exactly.
yeah, we're just going to keep coming back till we get it where we want it.
Yeah. And if you haven't tuned into our shows before, welcome to the evolutionary perspectives on everything from spirituality to politics to religion to our own thoughts to our own psyche. And Teresa's such a great fit because today she's actually going to speak to the chaos that we're experiencing as a country, the transparency that we're all being called into action for. And so told me that she felt really pulled to do an astrological reading of the birth of our nation and also of Donald Trump's astrological chartings. I was like, girl, you are in with us, man. We need to cover this because 2 shows ago, he spoke to in a more global way that Blue and I do to what's happening in the state of our nation and how it's affecting us individually, spiritually, and evolutionarily, but also how it's affecting the global landscape of our world. And so we thought it was just a perfect match.
I did want to make reference to our first show 2 weeks ago for Get Lit was 1 trump card shy of a full deck. And I think what we did there is we explored that it's tangible to experience the emotional bodies and the reactions and responses. You have that moment of, oh my gosh, is this really going to happen? And all the emotions that come to the surface. But then we know that that deeper part of us has to really seek that center again and come back within ourselves and get a greater view and go, okay, how will I proceed from here? And just for the fun of it, I thought I'd dress more formally today. You know, in truth, I've always wanted to be the president of this country, but, you know, I think there's a more worldly, more expansive cosmic position for me as an ambassador of the intergalactic nations, but we won't go there today. Let's begin.
Okay.
Let's get lit.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to start by expressing my gratitude to Rebecca for pulling me into this, and then to Blue for saying yes. So I appreciate both of you allowing me to be on this platform with the 2 of you and share this information and just share the conversation that we're about to have and that we're about to have with other people who, you know, want to be part of this. So thank you.
Yes.
So I want to start with something that you just said, Blue, and you mentioned the emotional body. And I think for all of us, the emotional body has something that's definitely been triggered and was just part of the process of this election anyway. You know, this was an emotional decision for everybody on whichever end that we happen to be on. And so I first want to go into like what got me here to this place of saying, you know what, I need to take a look at the birth chart of the United States. And, you know, going back to election night when everything was, you know, transpiring as it was. And, you know, I came from a place of, you know, not obviously not wanting the outcome to be what it was. And as I watched that unfold, I watched myself go into an emotional place that I really hadn't been in a long time, and very strongly. And I watched different archetypes come up for me. And two of the major archetypes that arose inside of me was the feeling of being victimized by the outcome of what this potential election was going to determine. And so, you know, there I am watching this on television, and I'm having a moment of, oh my God, I feel so victimized. And not only do I feel victimized, but I am so angry. And I just, you know, observed how that bully archetype, I'm going to use the bully archetype, wanted to really lash out at anybody who, you know, didn't vote my way, or anybody that I had thought, or I knew in my personal life that, that I was going to have to face, and how I was going to face that. We all know that when something big happens in our life, when there's a chaotic event, when there's a death, as this was for many of us, there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger perspective that we need to look at. There's a reason why this all went down and had to go down in the way that it did. That's what prompted me to write the article that I did. And for anybody who didn't read it, the article had to do with the America's Shadow versus Humanity.
Hello, everyone. And we are here to make a wonderful announcement. I am Blue Star Deer Woman, and this is my co-host, Dakota Granny Woman. And we have a wonderful show coming your way on Tuesday, the Herbal Knowledge Keepers. And Dakota's going to briefly speak to the topic of that day. And we also want to encourage you, actually the live broadcast is at consciousconsumernetwork.tv, and once you get to that page, you just click on live feed broadcast. And also we want to encourage you to come visit us on the Herbal Knowledge Keepers Facebook page, and there's an ongoing dialogue conversation there. You can ask questions, and Dakota is on it. So Dakota, you want to introduce the theme of the show for Tuesday?
Sure. We're going to be getting into osteoarthritis. And this is something where botanical medicine can really shine and keep you from getting into a lot of pain and suffering. So we're going to show you how plants help with osteoarthritis, and also explain what it is, how it comes about. I just wanted to also point out the Herbal Knowledge Keepers on Facebook is not a page, it's a group. And so you can join it and participate. So please join us on Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning. If you miss the show, we will have it archived on Herbal Knowledge Keepers in the Facebook group and elsewhere. And be sure and sign up for the Herbal Database as well at herbaldatabase.org. So that's, go ahead.
and 11 a.m. is Central Time because the broadcasting platform is coming out of London.
Right, yeah. Okay, so thank you. See you guys there.
All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new show. As we had explained,
Get Lit is on every other week, and the week between, we are launching this new program with Dakota Granny Woman and myself as co-host, Blue Star Deer Woman of the Herbal Knowledge Keepers. And we have a wonderful guest today, Abby Testerberg from Whole Plant Technology. She'll be joining us in the second half of the show. And you're probably seeing, you see this beautiful plant behind me? Well, this is how big we grow marijuana in Arkansas. We thought that was pretty funny. But as you know, this show is about, we're going to be talking about later on when we have our guest, Abby, about medicinal marijuana and the recent legislature that has passed medicinal marijuana in the state of Arkansas. And Abby has a rich background of knowledge and information to share with us, especially those of us who feel a call to grow this in our state. But for starters, we had Granny Woman on about 5 different shows on Get Lit last year. And basically, we had introduced what we call the Herbal Database. And this database is a collection, now it's up to over 15,000 entries. It's a cross-referencing of information about herbs, the constituents of those herbs, and it's a crossover to also the Western medicine, the pharmaceuticals to the herbs. And Dakota is a 5th generation Granny Woman, and she comes from a rich life experience of intuitive knowledge and scientific knowledge. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to play a little dumb today. And we're going to bring up the Herbal Database. And this will be the ongoing theme of this program.
And what I'm going to do is just kind of take you through some of the basics about how to get around in it. And where we're going to wind up in this demonstration is on medical marijuana, just because it is what the show's about. And I can show you a lot about how you might want to learn about an herb and what it does, using that as an example. So this is where the screen opens.
So PTSD is an excellent example. PTSD tends to have a series of different symptoms that actually need a series of different types of cannabis and means of imbibing cannabis. So you're going to find oftentimes PTSD patients need help sleeping and avoiding night terrors. And so that's going to be a sedating sort of indica-based cannabis that you're going to want to try to produce for them. And you're probably going to want them to have to take that orally, because what we know is that oftentimes oral cannabis lasts longer, so that they're not waking up in the middle of the night when the effects of the medicine have worn off and are stuck with the same problem.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our new program. This is called Enthusing Human Potential, and I am very happy to introduce my new co-host, Tamara Lynn Jonason, and myself as Blue Star Deer Woman. And today what we'd like to do, also it's important to say that this is a Full Bloom production. And Full Bloom is a nonprofit, 501c3. We are a charitable organization, and we are especially here empowering women's voices. We are so needed in this world today. So today what we'd like to do is we want to just take the time to have a conversation together and share with you how we came to this title, Enthusing Human Potential. And in fact, we have embraced many a person from our local community here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and have encouraged the creative spark that we believe is in everyone.
Back in 2005, comprise the information that is deep within us, termed it Enthusing Human Potential. This is something that has been deep within me since I've been a young child. Seeing how standards within our world or inadequate systems deflate or minimize our grandeur, our genius within. So that's where it was birthed from.
Mm-hmm.
If we're viewing the environment as being, what do you say, expendable,
Mm-hmm.
or each other as being expendable, or ourselves, we're not setting that environment, that spaciousness, in order to plant the greater seed of greatness.
Nice, nice. And that seems to go down the trail of, if we're holding the scarcity idea, then we see limitation. And we don't allow ourselves to expand, to explore, to become something more than what we are.
We tend to see space in a one-dimensional way, and it's generally what others supposedly determine is rightfully our space. However, we do have that ability to transcend the common view and create something very different. And in doing so, we look at the words potential. We see that potential is based upon capacity. So some may not have the capacity. Their potential may be a little different than another's. So then we look at the capacity that each of us have, or as a group, or our environment, the capacity this garden has to grow, the soil has to nurture certain plants. Capacity can change. We can nurture different qualities where then the capacity has grown or changed or expanded. So then therefore the potential has a different environment to grow in.
Tamara, that brings up, I think, a really important focus that's happening specifically in our country right now is like the topic of ethics and integrity, because our country was founded upon those kinds of qualities. And now that we're not seeing those qualities demonstrated, enough so that the people are losing trust or have lost a lot of trust, and we're seeking like compassionate leadership. Our democracy and constitution was based upon the love and consideration of all people. Then we go to the next step of enthusing human potential.
And then we build greater connections. And with greater connections, anything's possible.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Get Lit. And I know we've had a few changes in the past couple of weeks, but trust us, we are here, we're live, and we're happy to be with you. And today I'm really excited. I have a very, very long-time friend, Phoenix, who is joining us, and we are going to bring to you a show called The Stones of Love. And this is something I have been familiar with for many years. It's something that Phoenix has been practicing for many years as a teacher and as a reader. And we're really looking forward to sharing this with you, especially today. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Absolutely. So this is all about love. This is all about love.
Wonderful.
So I do recommend this for anyone that has come into a process of recognizing, owning, and healing abuse, healing the past, healing so that we come together with our own internal processes to change and be different. This is selenite, and this is a little palm of selenite. It's a form stone. This comes from Morocco. It is considered the stone of universal light. You see how the light moves around inside the stone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you got to
Moonstone does that.
No.
Labradorite does that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. That is called
I love that.
chatoyance. So
Chatoyance.
chatoyance. And that means the crystalline structure has many, many portals of catching the light. Yes, a tiger's eye, Tracy. Just a tiger's eye has gorgeous chatoyance. You're exactly right. And that's that multiple light structure, multiple portals. And that's why selenite clears all other stones. And it's considered the attractor of universal love.
Oh.
And so that's, we've been kind of talking about the human space, cosmic love.
Yeah. I totally, I'm there. My threads are out into the infinite universe, golden threads, cosmic love, grounded here.
And so, cosmic love is a way of empowering our self-love. And one of the reasons that I like the selenite and encourage it to be worked with other stones is it jumps over our personalities, our own personality and the personality of other. So if you have a love issue you're working out, it lets you tap into that cosmic love. Okay. So you get to
find the seat of power. Take your place at the table. You're shining like the sun. Your heart and open the soul. Call your sister spirits. Greet the golden hour. Singing with the moon, your heart and open the song. Chant the songs of ancients, feel the river's power. You're talking on the wind, your heart and open the song. Dance the fire of life force. Drink the honey essence. You're loving like the stars. Your heart and open the soul. Find your seed.